Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, the middle of the week. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And, like Thursday, all we have is Thursday and Friday. But I love every day. And Wednesday today is going to be a fun day because it just is. I got so busted today, or last night, by Dennis O'Connor. I didn't realize Dennis and Derek Sinquefield were such good friends. So when I announced yesterday that Derek was going to be on the show and we're going to talk about Bernie Sanders and all that Dennis O'Connor Facebooked him and said, "Hey man, I know where you're going to be tomorrow at 10 a.m. Let me see. Oh yeah, the Cindy Cochran Show." And Derek goes, "Really? Well, I'd love to do that show again, but really I got to talk to her." And it's because I hadn't asked him yet. I didn't have his phone number in my phone yesterday. I realized I was going to try and call him to be on. And then I didn't think about it. I could have Facebooked him. And he's on Facebook. He reads all that all the time. So I really messed up. So I did Facebook him after Dennis told me he just talked to him. And Derek said, yeah, but he'll have to call it in because he has a lot to do today. So that's fine, but he's going to give me this time to be able to talk to him about Bernie Sanders. So I certainly apologize because, I always want to keep it real. And I felt in my heart there'd be no problem being able to get him here or on the phone to talk about this because he loves Bernie Sanders. Wow. And so now, Dennis has set this up like a political religious smackdown that we're going to have, debate we're going to have. But, I just want to be real fair with Derek, and I want him to just say what he feels and talk about why he could possibly be for Bernie Sanders and just let that all happen and show that people can totally disagree with religion and with politics, but still have respect and love for that person. So I just want to play that out. And if I start getting a little, upset or anything like that, somebody's got to remind me, and it'd probably be Richard, because to calm down. But anyway, that's what happened. And now you know all of the truth. And so we're going to do that later in the show. Derek will be on. And I just want to tell you that it's going to be a great day. It's a bad hair day for today. Anybody that has long hair, it's just ridiculous. I tried to straighten my hair within 15 minutes. My hair looks like it does right now, Richard. And so it is just blown out. It's so frizzy. And I'm waiting for Dennis O'Connor, who could match anybody with frizzy hair. I want to see if mine's frizzier than his is when he walks by the window today, out here on Main Street in downtown Conroe, where Lone Star Community Radio is right here for everybody to see. And we try and keep it transparent. That's why I can't, tell untruths, because we are so transparent, because you can walk by and just see us sitting here. And we're, it's totally brave of Richard to do it like this, because, people can walk by and look in and see, oh, that's what it looks like, or that's what they look like. When you have a face and a body for radio, that kind of gets to be an issue. So, but no, we're just right out there exposing it all. Yeah, you know what I mean by that. Hey, you know what? It is not even June. I don't understand this. It's not June, and every morning I walk out and step over a crunchy June bug cemetery every single morning. This is so ridiculous. Why are they out? And they're much more aggressive this year. There may be a bug change thing going on. I mean, not climate change, but maybe a bug change going on that they're just want to get this all over with, I guess. And the life expectancy of a June bug must be just within 24 hours or something, because they're all dead. They're all dead when you turn the light off, they die, or what happens? But it's scary. But they are like dive bombing into, you walk out there on the porch, and anything that you do out there, they dive bomb you, and they hit hard. And when you try and pick them up, oh, their legs are so, it looks like thorn branches, and it's just yuck. So I don't know. They're June bugs. Wait till June. But if they're going to get it all over with now before June, that's okay. We'll deal with it. But it's still kind of cool for those guys to be out. But the fun thing is when you have a dog, and a dog, this is their first June bug year, and they don't know what these bugs are doing, and they try and catch them as they fly by, and then try and spit them out because what they feel like, get them out of their mouth, is very amusing. So, and I am easily amused. But the other thing that I have to mention is gasoline. I need to get somebody with the oil company and explain to me how they keep talking about the barrel of oil, the price of that has gone down. And at one point they were talking about, you know what, the price of oil is actually lower than the barrel itself. It was so bad at one time. But I don't see the gas changes. I don't see the gas price changing when they talk about this. And it's supposed to like immediately change. They change it because it immediately changes if the price of oil goes up. We immediately get hit. And are you going to say something, Richard? Are you getting ready to say something? Oh, he pulled the mic over to his mouth. I went, uh-oh, I've said something wrong. Because Richard is my fact checker. If I say something wrong. But I'm so sick of feeling like I have got to pay $1.89. What are you looking at? What's wrong?
Yeah, I'm listening. Jeez.
Oh, I thought you were getting ready to tell me something. I'm so paranoid today because I got busted last night. Okay, so anyway, but why are we paying that amount? And why is it that on Rayford Road in the Woodlands, in that area, Oak Ridge, in that area, they pay 10 cents more than we pay here. But if I got to stop for gas there, I have to pay that. So I don't know why anybody would not want to go to Kroger's, buy your groceries at Kroger's, and then be able to take off that amount of money on your per gallon.
Yeah, but is it really that much more? I mean, it's about convenience and also the market in that area. I mean, I bet they have numbers of what people are willing to pay, especially what they make in that area.
No, you're right. Market bear is everything. You know, what the market will bear. But it's just not fair. It's like, why would you...
Well, you know, it's funny. I wanted to tell you this.
Okay.
Because I was the speaker, the guy who owns HEB, you've seen all those commercials.
Yes.
Tall guy, you know, J.J. Watt and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I was at like a young professionals kind of thing, and he was speaking. He said something really interesting to me about the produce business and about Kroger and about HEB and Albertsons and all that kind of stuff.
What?
And he basically he comes up with like, you know, it's really strange trying to tell a consumer how to save money when the produce business has so many different ways to save money. He said, like, for example, Kroger's big thing that everyone knows in Texas is you spend $100, you get X amount of cents off your gas. And he kind of basically goes with the idea is like, think about this. Think about how much money you're saving per gallon. So right now they're trying to say, oh, you save 3 cents per gallon.
Right.
And you get up to 10 cents per gallon. And the average car has 22 gallons in it, you know, like the SUV, the stuff like that. So he said, like, you know, you do the multiplication of 22 times 10 cents, you're only saving $2 off your tank.
Right.
That's how much you're saving off of that. So imagine going into Kroger and spending that $100 just to save $2.
Okay.
And like I said, a lot of people don't realize that because they think, oh, I'm saving 10 cents a gallon off my gas.
Right.
So he's like, we don't want to do that because we'll take that $2 and make it $10 in the store.
That's so not true.
So
he's not telling you the truth.
So he said also where it depends on where you live.
That's right.
So because the market bears where your area is, especially what kind of produce you're offering in that area.
Right.
So but when people look at gas and like, oh, I'm going to save 10 cents a gallon, I mean, you're saving $2. And is it worth doing, like, you know, my favorite ones are the gas stations that are having 20 cents cheaper, but you have to go in and get a gift card and then use that gift card. And it's almost, I think it should be illegal to put that price on the sign unless it literally says. And now they started putting with gift card, you know, a little sticker next to it.
Oh yeah,
a little annotation over it. But
well, you see that. But I'm telling you, I've shopped. You know, I shop all the time. I shop at HEB and Kroger and all that. But Kroger has some better deals than HEB does,
and vice versa.
But I'm telling you that overall, you know, what you get at Kroger, especially the Signature store. I'm not talking about any of the others, but H-E-B has some good stuff in it. But I'm telling you, the price you get off of the gas is amazing to me. I get a lot of groceries.
Yeah, but like, how much money are you saving through the gas and do your bill? Like, I think you should do some competitive shopping and go take your bill over to H-E-B and like, price this out for me and see how much money you'll save, and go, not save, but compare. You're not saving anything. They're just selling it a little cheaper and maybe more expensive in some items.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're not idiots over in these grocery stores where it's like, oh, this week let's just do oranges half off because we really like our customers. No, not at all. And the thing about what's funny, what he said, continues saying, is one thing they were trying to do, and he said Kroger doesn't do well, is we try to orient our stores to what the locals like to eat. Mm-hmm. So if there's a large Hispanic population in the area, they know they're going to like spicy, and they know they're going to like corn tortillas and all that kind of stuff. They try to make that kind of a presence in the store because they'll make tortillas, they'll make the salsa, they'll make the guacamole in these stores. And if they know there's a kind of a diverse area, they'll start doing the sushi, and they'll start doing all that kind of stuff because we know people who are coming in will want to buy those kind of things.
Yeah, but here's another thing though, is that we got a phone call. This may be Derek. Let's see if this is Derek. Okay. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello?
Yes? Is this Derek?
Morning.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Okay. Yes. Is this Derek?
Yeah.
Derek. Okay. Can you hang on for a second?
Oh, I sure can.
Okay, do not go away, because we're getting ready to go to a break, and I'm going to come back and talk to you in just 2 seconds. All right, you're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show, and we're getting ready to talk to Derek Sinquefield, and we're talking Bernie Sanders versus Trump. He is a Bernie Sanders supporter, so guess who's the other one? Okay, we'll be right back. Don't go away.
The Cindy Cochran Show, the first daily talk show serving Montgomery County.
The East Texas Dream Center is in need of your help. We are a nonprofit Christian organization that houses women and children who are trying to get their lives back after being homeless, abused, or addicted. We are conveniently located at 301 South 1st Street, Conroe, Texas, 77301, right here in Montgomery County. Our needs are financial, and every needs of gasoline, cleaning supplies, laundry soap, Lysol, and whatever else God puts in your heart. To help our ladies and children, please consider a donation. You may visit our website at www.easttexasdreamcenter.org. Again, so you don't forget, it's www.easttexasdreamcenter.org. Donations are tax deductible. Remember what Jesus said, with God, nothing is impossible.
Tune in to Chamber Chat with your host, Courtney Galley and Samantha Good, with the Conroe Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce, every first Tuesday of the month at 11 a.m. I'm one of your hosts, Courtney Galley. Samantha and I will chat about the Conroe Chamber's upcoming events and programs for the month. Relax with a cup of joe or your favorite drink for Chamber Chat.
If you are looking to start a career, you can start your professional life in the U.S. Army. I am Staff Sergeant Stephen Jackson. My fellow soldiers and I can talk with you about learning high-tech skills in electronics and computers as a soldier. Interested in the medical field? The Army has skilled medical and dental jobs that set you up for future success. Come visit us at 2109 West Davis Street, directly behind the Whataburger on Highway 105. Or give us a call at 936-756-7002.
In a world where everyone with a smartphone is a photographer, unique images still stand out in local newspapers, magazines, and on the internet. Writer and photographer Brad Meyer has gained a reputation for innovation and quality, specializing in an editorial approach to portraits and event photography. For information, visit bkmeyer.com or call 281-221-4812.
The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
That's exactly right. You ain't. Because we're getting ready to have an amazing conversation, a friendly conversation on the Cindy Cochran Show with Derek Sinquefield, who has been on the show before, but he was here whenever it was the Mark and Cindy show. And now that I'm flying solo, that I'm under the radar. But anyway, Derek has agreed to come on and talk because found out that he was a big Bernie Sanders supporter. And so I thought this is going to be great because, again, we are diametrically opposed on something. So, because a few years ago I found out that that Derek had titled himself and called himself, and he has become an agnostic atheist. What is it now that you? What I think there's a better word that you
that was
use.
right. Yeah, I'm an agnostic atheist.
Okay. You cover all that spectrum of don't believe in that stuff. But you have found yourself believing in Bernie Sanders. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think that's so, so great that you can believe in something. That's good. That's a good start. Yeah. That's a good start, Derek. But how did you come to start, your attraction or fascination with Bernie Sanders? How did that start?
Well, ever since I was 16, I've always wanted I'm actually a Green Party liberal.
Uh-huh.
So I'm actually further to the left than Bernie Sanders is.
What? How could that be?
Yeah. My first vote was for Nader when I turned 18.
Oh, okay.
And that was a vote in order to strengthen the Green Party standing as an actual political party in order to have a more liberal voice in our political system than Democrat or Republican.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wasn't disappointed that he lost. I was disappointed in what he did after he lost, and that he didn't use the momentum that he had to actually do good work for the Green Party. But yeah, most of the policies that Bernie Sanders has, I've been for since I became political.
Really? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's everyone said that, Hillary was liberal. She called herself liberal, but Bernie Sanders,
Democrat.
Yeah, but Sanders and his group see her more as a centrist, right? She's actually, her starting position is center right. Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to negotiation, no, I'm definitely not down for that. I would like to actually argue from center left.
Well, I think that Bernie has certainly, don't you think Bernie has pulled her more toward the liberal stance because she saw how popular he was getting?
No, only in rhetoric. I don't think, she doesn't actually want any of those policies. I mean, she wants universal health care, but her way to get there would still entrench the special interests of the health insurance market. And, that's not what I want. I don't want to keep health insurance companies to be the unnecessary middleman between me and my doctor.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that, and what he is saying, he wants the single payer, and he wants everybody to be insured.
He wants the Medicaid for all, which is actually
Medicaid for all.
Medicaid for all. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's actually cheaper and more efficient than our private healthcare system that we have right now.
But when people argue the fact that people in Canada who actually have exactly the platform that he would like to have they're coming to the United States to get things done.
Actually, that's kind of a card. What they do is that Canada's cold. And so they actually come to the United States for vacation, and then they happen to go to the doctor.
Oh, that's what you... That's not how it's reported.
Yeah, that's literally what Canadians
Derek.
do. I'm not kidding. And their government pays for it.
Yeah, because they'll pay for the trip over, but they're not going to pay for what they have done here. They don't pay for that.
Yeah, they will. They cover a cost. Because they're still paying into the Canadian system.
Well, the thing about it is that the procedures and things that people want done are pushed so far back is what they complain about, is that it takes them so long to get this done because everybody's coming in.
Wait times can be an issue, and they need to solve that. That's for sure. Yeah. But I mean, just statistically, data shows that our system currently, we have 45,000 people who die a year because they do not have access to preventive care. They don't have access to a doctor. And, they usually wait too late to get a procedure because they don't want to go to the doctor because they can't afford the copay of the deductible.
That's right. That's true.
So,
I mean,
but one good thing about us not having a universal health care yet is that we have 36 countries to pick from. So we can see who has done it better, like Finland. They have a really good universal health care system. Scandinavian countries like Denmark have a great one.
Yeah, but Derek,
Denmark's
don't you feel like you need to have a country the size of the United States to compare it to, right?
Yeah, actually, that would actually help it in economics. It would be actually cheaper because we are bigger. So we have our risk pool is bigger, which means that we have more young people who aren't sick, right?
Right.
So whenever we open it up to everybody in a big country like this, it'll work out even better. It's actually going to be cheaper. Because we have more, our risk pool's bigger, so that means we have less sick people. Technically, we have more healthy people who sick.
Right, but I think that
and that's a big problem with the private market is risk pool.
That's true. I think that when Trump said he was going to open up and erase the lines of the states so that we could deal between the states and there were the states and be able to have a better way of getting cheaper insurance. That's what that was his plan, and you don't agree with that, right?
No, it actually worsened the administration costs. So what we have now, one of our biggest problems is about 18 to 20% of our complete healthcare costs. It goes to administration. That means we have whole wings of people, including doctors, who spend all day on the phone calling different insurance companies on do you cover this?
Right.
What do you cover? And so when you just open up state lines, all you're doing is now they're calling collect to New York to find out what their company covers. So it really doesn't actually save any money. The real savings is if you look at a Medicaid or a Medicare right now, they run at an administration rate of 2 to 3%. And so what that is that all you do is come in, you prove you're an American citizen, and you have your ID. And
okay,
whatever.
Okay. But Derek, that's going to be the first claim is that because Bernie wants everybody to have this. Everybody is the equal, and everybody should have this. And then if we restrict it from the illegal people that are here illegally, then there's going to be a problem, right?
If you restrict it from illegal, we don't do that now. I mean, we wouldn't restrict it from illegal. Right. I mean, they're not going to be able to, get medical care like we would. Like they can't do preventive, but they still have access to ERs.
Right. That they use right now for, for like a doctor's call. And that's
why I'm also for a comprehensive immigration reform.
Right.
So that they can pay into the system and they can, get in. Right now, net immigration from Mexico is net zero, which means that we deport more than people actually come. And since our economy crashed in 2008, Mexicans have actually been leaving the United States.
Derek, I am so impressed with how you have kept up with all of this stuff. Now, if all of Bernie Sanders' supporters were like you, that would be great. The problem is that you have never lived in a socialist, community. You've never lived in that and had a lot of things taken from you that we as Americans would be so up in arms about once that went into effect. And because that's not what we're used to doing, right?
So, well, here's the thing. Technically, we are socialists. We're not laissez-faire capitalists. We have a lot of socialists. Social Security is socialist. Our fire department is socialist. How we build roads is socialist.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying to compare it to like Leninism or Soviet Union socialism, you're talking about an authoritarian government that's a dictator. It's not what we're talking about. And if you ever call like Denmark or Sweden or England, even socialist, they'd scoff at you. They would completely laugh in your face.
Right.
So, yeah, they don't consider themselves socialists, and they have these policies. So,
well, now tell me.
The socialism. I'm sorry?
Oh, no, go ahead. What? Finish your sentence.
Oh, yeah, there's a clear difference between democratic socialism and then, like, the National Socialist movement that Hitler had.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, that's not. And in fact, universal health care had been passed in Germany in 1896 by Bismarck. So it was even prior to Hitler's rise.
Well, it's the history that they have of it. Now, everything, you can't compare some things now because of what it was like back then, but there is a history to the one-payer thing and everybody, and it covering everybody, and all of the universities will be, like free education, and a lot of the free things that he has put out there is very attractive. Yes, and you see why the youth just flock to him, because they're so burdened with cost of education. And I'm not saying that's right. What?
Yeah, like, you see, I think you're missing a couple parts. Well, like with the free public and public college and public universities, it's about $71 billion a year to do. We're not talking. He's not talking about taking the means of production away from the private market. So that means we still have private universities like Harvard and Yale. So what he's talking about with the taxes on that issue is not even hitting income tax. He'll hit speculation, which does two things. Speculation on Wall Street, if we slow it down, we lower the risk of making speculative bets. I mean, one example would be the London whale that costed J.P. Morgan Chase $1 billion.
Right.
Which was just a loan, a risky loan that went bad, and they couldn't stop it, and it cost them $1 billion.
Well,
so check it out real quick. So with this, it's called Robin Hood tax, and it would actually make more than the $71 billion required to pay for public college. And then even after it slows down, because it won't stop, because if there's money to be made, capitalists will make it.
Right.
It would still pay for. Still easily pay for the free college every year.
Well,
so it wouldn't hit your income tax.
Well, that's how. I mean, as he's proposed it, and listening how he's proposed it, it makes.
Yeah, I could work with him on messaging for sure.
Yeah. That's great. The thing about Bernie Sanders is, as opposed to as I am to a lot of his rhetoric, is that he's a very charming, a very engaging guy, and you want him to be your grandpa. I want this guy as my grandpa. He's so like lovable in that sense, except when he opens his mouth and says policies. But I do understand why the youth flock to him, and it's so odd in a sense in this day and time when everybody thinks that youth, and these old white people that run the country, it's so wrong and all that Bernie Sanders comes out as this Pied Piper of all these young people saying, following him. And I think that it's been extremely interesting. And at one point I thought, oh, you don't have a chance. And everybody said he didn't have a chance. And it was a lot like the Donald Trump thing, coming in. And then now he is closing the gap, and Hillary is pretty nervous. And she's got to be... Go ahead.
He has a real chance at the nomination now. He has a legitimate chance.
Yes.
With New York coming up. I mean, he's a boy from Brooklyn.
That's and he knows how to talk their language, and he's got Larry David on him, and it's so great to listen to both of them talk. And it's been really cute. Of their comparison has been wonderful. And him being on SNL and all that stuff has been fun. But
yeah, Larry David is great.
Yeah, though it's so funny. But I think that when we get down to it, I just have a hard. I don't know. I don't think that the DNC is going to allow him to be the nominee. It's just like the RNC. Even though everybody voted for him and all that, they wanted Hillary in there, and but her problems with the FBI and all that's coming to fruition, a judge just today moved her case up to a new level. And so now she even has more problems with it. And so, listen, we got to go to a break, so hang on, and we're going to a break, and we'll be right back with Derek Sinquefield and talking about why he supports Bernie Sanders. Hello. Here we go. We'll be right back on the Cindy Cochran Show.
The Cindy Cochran Show. Real reality radio.
Hey, this is Cindy Cochran, and now Conroe can boast of another first. The first morning live talk show, 10 to 11 a.m. Monday through Friday, right here on Lone Star Internet Radio, coming straight out of the fabulous downtown Conroe, Texas. Be the coolest guy at the water cooler, or the most informed break room dweller by listening to the fun side of the news, local, national, infinity, and beyond. The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
In a world where everyone with a smartphone is a photographer, unique images still stand out in local newspapers, magazines, and on the internet. Writer and photographer Brad Meyer has gained a reputation for innovation and quality, specializing in an editorial approach to portraits and event photography. For information, visit bkmeyer.com or call 281-221-4812.
I'm Lieutenant Bob Berry with the Conroe Police Department, reminding you that texting and talking on the phone while driving are not only dangerous, but also illegal in school zones and other posted areas. Drive safely and alert.
Our community's animal shelters cannot absorb accidental litters of kittens and puppies. Approximately 80% of the animals entering our shelters will not make it out alive. Please help be a part of the solution. Please spay and neuter your pets. Many low-cost options are available. Visit texaslittercontrol.org to learn more. That's texaslittercontrol.org. And remember, real Texans don't litter. Please spay and neuter your pets.
The Cindy Cochran Show. The first daily talk show serving Montgomery County.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show, and we've been talking to Derek Sinquefield. And if it sounds like sometimes that Derek is underwater, there's a reason for that. Derek has started a new company with his friend, and they're cleaning pools now. And I said, well, great, you want to shout out the name of the company and all that? And he goes, no, we don't really need any more business. So, you're such a capitalist. It's just amazing. That's
we're trying
great.
to hang out, and it's not working.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're trying to have this be really easy and all. And he's still working. He is working while he's talking to me. He's throwing all these numbers out of his head that he has been studying and still working all at the same time. You know, you could be a good mommy. You can multitask, Derek. That's great.
Yeah.
In fact, he is the sweetest dad to his little girl Autumn. Right, Autumn?
Yep.
Okay. I love the pictures of you and Autumn on the on your Facebook. And listen, if you want to know who we're talking to and the look of Derek, you go to my Facebook and it's right there. We have a picture of Derek. And Derek, I don't know where you took that picture. You were underneath something. You're smoking a pipe. I don't know what's in the pipe. I don't want to know. And you're looking like you're in some Baja, coastline.
Yeah, Bohemian.
Yeah, where was that picture taken? Galveston?
It was actually at Mystic Rock, I think it's called, and it's like we were doing a mock wedding photo shoot, Bohemian style, for my friend Kim Smith.
Okay. Okay.
Just word of mouth planning. She's great. I'm gonna plug her. Give her a plug. She's awesome.
Well,
so it was me and my girlfriend.
Yeah, that was great. And I love y'all's picture on your Facebook. It's so cute. It looks like they waited till you looked down to take the picture because she was pretty or something. I don't know, but it's a great picture, you guys. Okay, now back to the fact that and tell me, what is it you actually have against Donald Trump?
Oh, what do I have against Donald Trump? Well, first of all, I number one, the wall is ludicrous. Like right now, our big problem with the Border Patrol with drug cartels is that they tunnel under into the country. They use tunnels.
Right.
Number two is that immigration from them walking across the border is, number one, very dangerous. Tons of people die, and they actually have really bad things happen to them from cartels. But I believe it's about 48% of all illegal immigrants actually come here on an HB1 visa.
Mm-hmm.
So they fly over, and then they just overstay their visa.
Right.
So it really, it won't prevent anything. We tried a fence there before. That didn't work, and that was just a fence. The cost is roughly $70 billion. Mexico has already said they won't pay for it. And not only is the cost just to build it $70 billion, but to upkeep a wall and to man it is even more money every year.
Yeah.
So that's, but other than that, his other policies, I don't even know. I mean, carpet bombing.
No, that was Ted. No, that was Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz.
I know. I think him and Trump pretty much have the same policy. I mean, Trump was more inarticulate by saying that he would bomb the beef out of them.
Right, but you know how many people. I think what it is because I like Trump for this, and this is that what he has done to the establishment, what he has done to bring the attention to the whole process and make people get out and come stand in line and in primaries and vote that never thought about that before. The crossover from Democrats is a lot of fun, but I think that and when people say, well, it's just because he says what I think, but I can't say it because I'll get put in jail if I say it, and he doesn't, and that because you wouldn't think that the group would just they idolize him. He's like Elvis Presley. He's got this bigger than life type persona, and they're just so drawn to that because they want to stick it to the man. They want to say, we're going to take Donald Trump, who now he has been successful in business. He's done successful things, and you can point to that. Yeah, you can point to that.
That's a point of contention. Actually, is that it was actually successful in business. He basically inherited about anywhere from $40 million to $200 million from his dad, and then if he were to just put that money into basically into an investment account or one that goes with the stock market, mm-hmm. he would have the exact same amount of money, if not more.
Well, his dad loaned him $1 million. And that's how he got started. Okay, but what I'm saying though is what he got started with isn't. You can't blame the guy for inheriting something. And his brothers and sisters have also said that's a point of contention because they're pretty sure that's not right because of the inheritance. But no, and people will fail, but they learn from that, and he has more life experience than anybody else that has been on the stage with him. And he can talk a better game than everybody else can. But you have all these people coming to him and voting for him. Do you disenfranchise them? Do you discount them? Are they chop liver? What?
Do I discount the voters? Well, yeah. I just think that they like the rhetoric, but he has no actual policies. Because I try to debate Trump supporters, but there's no actual substance behind any of his policies. They want the wall. Well, okay. Well, we can't have the wall. That's literally not an option. They want to bomb the Middle East. We literally have bombed. We've spent 22,000 bombs trying to bomb ISIS. Their numbers have not depleted. The Air Force say that they're running out of bombs. The Pentagon says that that's an is an exaggeration. But the Air Force literally did say that. So we've been bombing ISIS. We have done nothing. And what we've
That's right. Because Obama has a failed policy. Hillary was right there with him when these failed policies were made and enacted on. And so it's got to be someone else coming in there, and the people that he has hired and put around him for foreign policy. You think that when you listen to Bernie Sanders talk about foreign policy, it's just like he really is not in touch. You feel like he's not in touch with the danger that we have here. He feels like the danger is Wall Street, and that's it. Wall Street is our biggest, enemy, and that's who we need to fight. That's all he talks about.
I mean, like right now, if you just look at sheer numbers, we've had, a couple terrorist attacks. That's right. We've also had right-wing terrorist attacks here also. But you're more likely, our biggest actual fear here isn't ISIS. ISIS isn't here. They're not going to cross like an army. What our biggest fear here is probably the fact that we have 45,000 people dying a year from, which is way more than any terrorist, from lack of health care.
No, but
way more than any terrorist group. So
wait.
The thing is that, just real quick, ISIS kills Muslims the most. And what their message is that the West hates you. The West hates you. They want to kill you. And so if you want to come to a magical Muslim world where we love you, and
right.
you can fight the West, they come. And that's an appealing message for people who feel marginalized in their own society.
Right.
The Belgian bombers were from Belgium.
That's right. They came, but they
felt
came.
Marginalized.
They weren't born Belgian. They weren't born there, but they had been living there.
They didn't come from Syria.
Right.
They were Belgian.
Well, sure. And they all can, everybody has a chance to be radicalized. I understand that. But I'm just saying that we need to take it seriously. We have not, and it seems, and optics is everything, with President Obama being, to us, very flippant, lackadaisical about the charge that he has to keep us safe, to keep these people from coming in and blowing themselves up, blowing up the airports, doing all that stuff, and they're trying to get here. This is where, people get nervous about it. But they want to have the optics or the sound bites or anything like that makes them feel like we're paying attention and these are the things that we're doing. And then you have Hillary, who is... I can see why she stopped answering the 3 a.m. phone call, because of all the things that she's got going wrong in her life, that she thinks maybe the last thing on that phone call is talking about, war with ISIS. But she has a lot of things going on that's the alternative to Bernie. And if Hillary is indicted, what do you think? Do you think that Bernie will become the nominee, or do you think they're going to march Joe Biden in?
No, but Bernie would get the nomination.
Now,
no doubt about it.
But see, at a convention, that the rules change.
A broker convention?
Yes. The rules change. So if they do that, because that's what the RNC is very open, obviously trying to do with Donald Trump, is they're trying to make sure that they're going to be able to take this to the vote and then let the delegates change, who parties if they want to. They can do whatever they want to at that time. They can then... or whoever they're affiliated with.
That's if he didn't get the 1297 or whatever prior to the convention. I think Trump's going to lock it up before the convention.
You think so?
Yeah, I really do.
Well, it'll be
and
a fun.
If they tried that, I really don't think it would work. I think they would really, like, the Republican Party is very split right now. And if they tried to take it away from the leading candidate, and basically go against the will of people, I think they're going to have a real problem on their hands.
Well, I agree. That's why I don't know why they're not putting both conventions on pay-per-view and make some money, because everybody's going to want to see this happen, and it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be free.
No, yeah.
You can watch it for free.
And you can watch it for free. Okay, well, I'm getting my popcorn ready and drink ready. Listen, Derek, we're going to let you go so you can get back to work. But you know what you talked about, you said you want to come in and talk about the economics of healthcare and all that. I want you to come back in. When you have a chance to come back in, you call me and say, I've got this day off, and I'd love to come talk about this. And we'll do it. You are always welcome here, and I really appreciate you giving me this time. And I just...
Yeah, no problem. I had a lot of fun.
Okay, I love you, Derek.
I love you too.
See, we can talk about these things and still love each other. Okay, we'll be right back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Don't go away.
The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
SPCA PetSnap of Montgomery County is a 501c3 all-volunteer-based rescue and adoption organization with a no-kill policy for healthy and adoptable animals. Our goals are fourfold: to rescue and rehabilitate homeless animals, to provide a safe haven for the animals until a suitable adoption or foster care home is found or until they are reunited with their owner, to educate the public about the great need to reduce pet population, which includes the importance of having their pets spayed and neutered, and to further the cause for humane and responsible pet ownership, and to provide a low-cost spay-neuter clinic for people who are unable to afford to spay or neuter their pets otherwise. SPCA PetSnap of Montgomery County encourages you to think adoption first. You can contact us at www.spcaofmc.com.
Tune in every Sunday night right here on Lone Star Internet Radio for adventure, romance, thrills, chills, and everything vintage radio drama can bring. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour comes to you every Sunday at 7 p.m. with brand new episodes monthly. Our productions always feature actors, music, and sound effects performed completely live. And now you can enjoy seeing each new episode performed on stage at the Owen Theater in Conroe. Check out www.irlonestar.com for information about upcoming episodes. Relive the glory days of vintage radio drama right here with the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour on Lone Star Internet Radio.
In a world where everyone with a smartphone is a photographer, unique images still stand out in local newspapers, magazines, and on the internet. Writer and photographer Brad Meyer has gained a reputation for innovation and quality, specializing in an editorial approach to portraits and event photography. For information, visit bkmeyer.com or call 281-221-4812.
The Cindy Cochran Show, the most opinionated talk show on radio.
Hey, we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Had a great conversation with Derek Sinquefield about why he likes Bernie Sanders, and man, he has been studying this. He's a perfect person that you want to ask to talk to you about. Now, I was going to bring up some good things about Donald Trump, but there was no time. There was no time. He has it all under wraps. So, but here's the thing that's so funny. We start talking about, because people in politics, people they're lifelong politicians. How in the world do they get away with, or think they're going to get away with, the stuff that they do? Now, this, for example, this Governor Robert Bentley of Alabama, he just came out because he's been caught. He was caught, and he just came out and made this public statement. And see if this reminds you of anybody. I have never had a physical relationship with this woman, and I just want everybody to know that. And so when Michael Berry today on his show played right up next to it, Bill Clinton go, I have never had a sexual relationship with this woman. But Governor Bentley said, I've never had a physical relationship with this woman. So now we start reading the words. The word he used was physical. Like physical, that's going to make a difference when you have phone sex and you talk about it and you, oh brother, and you go through the motions of that, maybe not just together in the same room, but this is what you did. So you're going to say, I'm okay because I've never physically done anything with this woman, physically. So and that could bring up all other things that he's able to get around, not saying. But his wife of 50 years is divorcing him. Yeah, finally, she didn't stand up next to him while he said, I'd never had, sex. So I'm telling you, the people the press were there, and after he goes through the litany of things he did not do this and he didn't do this, and I have done nothing wrong. I have done nothing to have to apologize to anyone. I have not done anything wrong. And so then the reporter goes, "Excuse me, Governor. Excuse me. And so why is it that you're saying you never had a physical relationship with this? Why'd you have to say that if you've never done anything wrong?" Well, I may have said some inappropriate things to her, but I have never done anything wrong physically. So there you go. It's just amazing. It's amazing. But you know what? Richard is always bringing the real to everything. Richard just said, "I would love to be one of those political people, those guys are running for something, and you've got these staffers that you have come to work on your campaign, and it wants you so bad." And what would you do? How would you react?
It wasn't really like the reaction. It's more of just the world. I'd be like, "Is this real?" Mm-hmm. It's like, this is a Queen song, that beginning of Bohemian Rhapsody. And it's just like, what is going on here? Because what's strange to me in the history of all these political figures encountering themselves in this scenario is they try to justify it in their mind. Mm-hmm, and I know there's a lot of situations, everybody, and that's the whole purpose of free will. And, everyone encounters these situations where you get to choose. You get to choose yes or no, or left or right, or things like that. But it's also, deciding what to justify, use what to justify. And I don't know, I'm kind of scared of myself to be put in those situations because I can't really say 100% I'm going to do this.
That's exactly right.
But also, at the same time, I can laugh about it, mainly because it just seems surreal to me that these people find themselves in these situations. Especially like I made the joke about Tiger Woods. All those stories coming out, how ridiculous he is, and going to strip clubs. And I'm like, man, I'm surprised this hasn't come out sooner.
Right.
Because it sounds ridiculous, like absolutely ridiculous behavior. Mm-hmm. And I can't believe nobody else has caught this. Like, because, especially like Bill Clinton, I love the story, how it became true where he had that woman in the room.
Right.
And it's just kind of like, how does nobody know about this and feels like they need to talk about it?
Well, because all of the people around him, that's
what I'm saying. You build up this wall of fear. Like, people are so
Yeah.
afraid to say anything.
Yeah, but they wouldn't
and
tell on
especially
the guy.
representing a moral compass as a leader of the country.
But when she came out, here's the funniest of that situation. This was Paula. I can't remember her last name. She comes out, and they say, that's just your word for it. And she said, well, I can tell you, this one thing is that his penis is tilted to the left.
Well, I mean, like that, especially people forget that. It wasn't just one incident.
Yeah, that's right.
And because how some even
I believe her.
Some love stories always end with like, oh, I didn't love her, but now I love her. I want to get married to her.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's all good and everything, but like, you have multiple issues or multiple people. There's an issue,
right?
And that's what I'm saying. Like when Tiger Woods, you didn't know really how many. But it got to the point where double digits were being presented, and you're like, man, maybe what happens if it was all these people?
Well, and these women who marry the basketball players and all that, and they go off and that's like a given. When you hear the women talk about it, it's a given. That's ridiculous. And we're going to continue this conversation tomorrow, Thursday, on the Cindy Cochran Show. You can't miss it. You can call in tomorrow.
Bernie Sanders is all up in that.
You know.
Him and Donald, they're just laughing about it, talking about their women's stories.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders,
especially Hillary Clinton. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be full that's
circle.
Gonna come out. Yeah, her bimbos are going to be coming out.
Some young hunk from the Jersey Shores.
Oh man, we got to keep talking about this. This is fun. All right, we'll be right back on the Cindy Cochran Show tomorrow at 10 a.m. and don't miss it. Be with us.